it's been kind of chaotic, and I don't know whether it's actually been chaotic or whether my brain has just been kind of chaotic lately, and it probably, you know, a mix of column A, a mix of column B. But today I'm here to talk about stash busting, and let's just get into it. So first up, trusty stash busting book. Where did I leave off in February? So I was sitting at 16,791 grams, which is 335.82 50-gram balls. For both you and myself, my goal for the whole year is to be down to 14,000, and I think it's 850, 297 balls, and that's the plan. That's the goal. I got rid of a good amount of things in January and February, mostly, honestly, through destashing. I finished one project, very happy with that. Honestly, wasn't sure there for a while if I was going to finish anything. So one is good. One I am happy with. So that's that. Now let's talk about March. Originally, I had planned to do Malabrigo March, and I have this scarf project. I forgot the word for scarf for a second there. Oh no, scarf is such a weird word. It just sounded wrong. I have that. It was the only Malabrigo I owned, and I thought it would be a good reason to like join in on that, but also get this thing like knitted. I started it. Okay, so I've already started it. It was already a whip. I did 4 rows of it this month. It's already the 6th, by the way. Anyway, I did 4 rows, and I was like, you know what? I really don't like this pattern. I mean, I do. I love how it looks knitted. I don't love knitting it. I don't know what it is. I just don't. It is not the thing I want to be knitting right now. So we've decided to pivot, and instead I am just right now focusing on finishing my gingerbread, because I've now been knitting this for over a year, and yes, it did sit, you know, like halfway down the raglan for about, I don't know, maybe like 9 months, and then I've done a lot of work over Jan and Feb, finishing the sleeve and the body and everything, and I just have now the second sleeve to do. In Feb I just started this one. I think I've done about 25 or 30 rows since then, and I'm on track to finish. I am still kind of taking this kind of slow. I am just taking it day by day, seeing how much I knit, and however much I do, I'm happy with. So we are almost there. Not that it really matters, because it's still definitely not sweater weather here yet. Hopefully soon. I would really like just like a nice cold day, and maybe I will have the chance to finish it before we hit that. And really nothing else to say about this at this point, because it was a major focus in Jan and Feb, and it will continue to be my main focus, at least I think for the next 2 weeks. we'll see. And then, I don't know, today I was trying to think about what might be a good second project to kind of work on. And I don't know, I wanted something that was kind of light and wouldn't require a whole lot of focus, I guess. This is super tangled, but these are my Copenhagen houses. So this, oh my god, this is so bad. This is the best one. I have 3 on here at the moment. This is the one I've done the most of, and it's also the easiest one to show you. This will eventually be a huge blanket, but right now it is just a quarter of one house and then a tiny amount of 2 other ones. Even one that I very kindly for myself left literally in the middle of a row, in a color change as well. So thank you, past me. What a gift that you have left me. I just thought it would be fun to kind of work on these, and they're relatively quick to knit up. Like, it doesn't take very long to do a row because they're not super long or super wide rather. And I don't know, just be a fun way to take even just like 3 grams of yarn off my stash right now. I'd be happy with. So I'm going to work on that a little bit. I have done a bunch of rows for this already today, and I have to head into work later on. So I thought that it might be nice just to chill and do like a row or 2 of these before I have lunch and head off to work. Very excitingly, I have a yarn show this weekend. My partner's mum is flying up to see us tonight, and she is coming to the yarn show with me so that I don't have to force Alex to go with me, even though he enjoyed himself last year. So that should be good. I have been trying to work out what my limit is going to be for how much yarn I can buy at the event, and I was trying to like look at the projects I want to make and the things that I need, and I found one thing that I was like, okay, yeah, I need something for that. But there's going to be some really cool indie dyes there, and I want to buy more than one skein. You know, I don't want to buy something from everyone, but I want to buy more than one skein at the entire event. So I found a jumper pattern in my favorites, and that requires a few skeins of different colors. So I think I'm going to use that one to allow myself to buy 3 other skeins and kind of, yeah, put my limit at 4. We'll see what I find. And I do know that I want to get some more stitch markers and some I've completely forgotten what they're called, but like needle stoppers, because as I've been knitting projects, I realized that I didn't really have any small I need some more like small stitch markers, because I use those ones most often, especially with the socks that I do. So I need some of those, and I have 2 pairs of needle stoppers right now, and I need probably another pair or 2, if not more. But we're going to start slow. We're going to see what we find. And yeah, but for now, I'm gonna spend a little bit of time untangling this first, and then I am going to, oh, that one's not even attached. I'm gonna knit on this for a bit, make a little bit of progress, and I will be back, I think probably early next week after the yarn show, and I'm hoping that maybe somehow I will, I don't know. I'm just playing it by ear in terms of progress right now. Any progress is good progress, so if I get even the smallest amount of stuff done, that is some lovely Arthie fur in my knitting. Any progress I make right now is good. So I will catch you all. I need to pay attention to this because this is, I cannot do two things at once, it turns out. Yeah, I'll just be back when I'm back. And I'll see you all then.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, do you even see me at all? Count flaws like counting sheep. In my head these thoughts just creep. Walking halls with eyes so keen, feeling like I'm in between high expectations and the bluff. Will I ever be enough? Tell me, where do I belong in a world that's always wrong? Holding on to losing grip on my dreams.
Alright, it was a long weekend here this weekend, and so I planned to get halfway through my sleeve, the second sleeve for Gingerbread. And it is now Tuesday, and I finished it. I finished the whole thing. It's done. It has been blocked. It's still a little damp. It still needs like just a few more hours to dry. It's like almost there. It's just on the back, but it's done. Don't know what Arthie was just freaking out about, but whatever. It's kind of hard to show you. I kind of put myself in this awkward corner here. Okay, so it's so cute. I love it. Obviously I'm gonna have to wait until it has dried completely before I'm gonna try it on, but as I said, probably just needs a few more hours, and I'm super happy with how it's looking. So with that, it means that it is time to weigh what I have left. And also, I bought some yarn. It was the yarn show this weekend, the Australian yarn show. So I went to that and I bought some yarn. I didn't go too crazy, and I will show that to you now. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the yarn that I have left over, the yarn that I bought, and we're gonna weigh everything. Book, purchases, leftover yarn, a pen. Let's see where we're sitting. Okay, do I add the yarn first and then remove the yarn that I've used? I think so, because I think that'll make me feel better about myself rather than taking off the yarn I used and then adding the yarn I've bought. So let's move the scale that way a bit. Okay, so there will be already up there'll be a haul already up if you want to see any of this in detail, but I have this cute, this is called the French Macarons collection mini set. Very cute. That is 100. Okay, that's telling me it's 127 grams. So, is that right? Yeah. Okay, so let's go yarn show. So plus 127 grams. I also from Ash and Eve Designs, this colorway. This is just the Australian Yarn Show collection, and I'm assuming this is, wait, that's on -2. Nope. Come on, go down to 0. Thank you. Okay, and that one's 129 grams. Alright, and then I also got this one. This is 3 Trees Fiber Crafts, and this is 120. Alright, and then I think I talked about the other day that I bought a bunch of yarn. So, God, this smells so bad. Ugh. Okay, I bought this. I bought 2 of these, and these are 50 grams, so there's another 100 grams. And I also bought this. These are also 100 grams, and I have one that's being used. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 600 grams. Did I say I bought 2 of these? One has already been used as well. So we got 100 grams and then 600 grams. All right, let's add this up. 127, 129, 120, 100, 600. So that is 1,076, not 700, 1,076 grams, which is divided by 50, 21.52 balls. Alrighty, so let's put these back in here, and these ones back in here, and then let's see what I've got for the gingerbread. So, gingerbread. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so I know that I used one whole ball since I last oh god, I've used one whole ball. I know that I have another whole one here. No idea how much this one is, and it is tangled and everything, but that's a future problem. Let's weigh this one first. So that one is 53 grams. Are these 50-gram balls? Yeah. Okay, so I have 2 full ones. And then I have this one that I used a bit of. Let's see. So I've got 18 grams left. So 50 minus, that means I use 32 grams. Now, the problem is that at one point I used 34 grams on the body, and now I don't know if I have removed that from my total. I don't think I have, because I think that was kind of the whole point, was that I couldn't remove things until I finish the project. So let's say in total I've used 50, 32 and 34, 116. So I've used 116 grams on my gingerbread because I had started it before I counted everything, so it used more than that, but I'd already not counted that. So 116 grams. Where were we sitting before? So 16,691 plus 6,691 plus the 1,076 that I purchased. No. Minus 1,000 and so. Whoop, no, not minus. I wish. Plus 1,076. And then that gives me 17,767 minus the 116 that I've just used. And we are looking at 17,651 grams, which is the highest we've been in a month. That's not too bad. And we'll divide that by 50 and we get 3,000, oh my god, 353.02 balls. 353.02 balls. Okay, so we're sitting a little bit lower than we were in Feb, middle of Feb. I weighed it on the 7th of Feb, and we were sitting at 17,853. So we're a little down from that, but then of course after that I had destashed a bunch of stuff and I was looking pretty good, and now 353.02 minus 335.82. So I'm like 17 balls up from the end of Feb. That's not great. But I finished something. That should be a win, right? Okay. We're not going to focus too much on that. We're going to keep going with the high that I finished something. And let me tell you about what I've been working on since. Okay, so I literally did finish the jumper last night. So I haven't really had a chance to work on much else. But I have been focusing on my little Copenhagen houses because they are pretty easy on my hands. Like, it's not really they're, you know, kind of loose and it's easy. And I really pushed myself to get that jumper done, so I wanted something kind of relaxed, and this is perfect. So done a little bit more of that, have planned out the blanket a little bit more. So yeah, that's exciting. We're working on that. That will probably be my focus for today, I think, and maybe for the rest of the week, just because I think I could finish this house in the week, and that would take a very minimal amount of yarn off my stash. But every tiny little bit counts, and that's what we're going with. That's it for now. I will be back in a couple of days. Actually, I will technically be back like now. I'm gonna try it on the jumper. Well, now for you. Tomorrow probably for me. And we'll see how it looks once it's blocked. But otherwise, I'll see you in a few days and we'll see what I have decided to work on, because who knows? I could do anything at this point. Okay, the D-Stash fairy has visited me again overnight. I was thinking of my totals last night and low-key stressing a little bit about the fact that they'd like gone up so much and that all the good work I'd done had kind of been erased by myself buying things. It just made me think about a little bit like the whips that I have and the yarn that I have that I'm just not interested in anymore. And so this one here was meant to be a gift, and then I was also kind of thinking about this idea that I saw, I don't know, a while ago now, I can't remember who from, but the idea that some people in your life are knit worthy and some people aren't. And so this was going to be a huge project for a blanket. And it was probably going to take me like, I don't know, maybe like a good 200 hours of work. And then I realized that I just didn't really want to make this anymore. And I have cats who are fighting. I have lots of gifts planned for people, and planned for people who are knit worthy, who I'm like, okay, this person I know will really appreciate this and will appreciate how long it's taken me to make these things, and there's a level of an appreciation there. And not to say that this person wouldn't be appreciative, but I'm not enjoying the project, and at this stage I'm doing it for myself. So this is all to say that this one is getting unraveled and then frogged, and this Karen Cakes is going to go, because firstly, these are huge. These are like, what, 200 grams. So I have 600 grams of this stuff. I don't really like the colors. This is not something that you would ever really see in our house. Just, I don't know. The bright blue, I think it's pretty, but wouldn't suit our house. And I just don't have any ideas of anything else I could make it into. And I'm just really going through and getting rid of most of my acrylic. Like, I'm keeping it for some things, but this, I'm just like, there's nothing that I would use this for. So that's gonna go. We're gonna pull out the blanket, rest in peace blanket. And this is actually good because these are 8mm needles. I've seen quite a few patterns that use 8mm, and I'm always like, oh no, they're with that blanket, I can't use them. So I will be glad to have so many of my stitch markers back, and also these needles back too. So that is what I'm gonna do for however long this is gonna take me. I don't really know. And in the meantime, I think I'm gonna pop on another episode of Grey's Anatomy. I'm on season 14. Took a really long break from watching it, and now I'm back to it, and I have watched 10 to 15 episodes in the last 4 days. It's just one of those shows that, like, I couldn't even tell you. All of the episodes blur into one, and it just feels like one really long movie. And I have no perception of time while I'm watching this show. So that is great. And let's pop that on and get this wound back up and put into the destash pile. I still have my pile of things because I haven't had time to donate it yet, because lots of the op shops closed donations post Christmas, and they're reopened now. But do you think I remember, even though the pile of things we have is literally at the front door? No, I don't. I don't ever remember to take these things. So those are all my stitch markers ready to go back in my little box of things, and my needles can slip back into there. And let's get to unraveling. This would have been a really wide blanket, I'm just realizing. Maybe too wide. Oh well, that's not a problem anymore. I finally have a day where it is cool enough to wear this for an extended amount of time. Really happy with it. Is it perfect? No, it is not. There is definitely some things that I would change about it, but for a first jumper, I'm pretty damn happy. That's my thoughts. This is, as I said, the first time I've been able to wear this for an extended amount of time, so we will see as I wear it more and more if my feelings change. But that is not the point of today. The point of today is an update. Now, I was thinking about this as I was kind of getting ready to film this update, and I was thinking to myself, you know what? There isn't so much that, I don't know, sense of urgency this month. Probably because I am not going to finish anything. I'm not close to finishing anything. And I'm just kind of in that stage where I'm just kind of going through the motions. And I've only been working on the one project. And that is this jumper, which I don't think I've shown you in this vlog yet. I shared it in my recent haul, but this is going to be the Sugarplum jumper by Fabel Knitwear. I am obsessed with their patterns. This is the first one that I have actually started to knit because I think it is gorgeous, and out of all of them, this was one where I was like, okay, I know that I can easily fit that into my wardrobe, and it will be used extensively because I love a big cozy jumper, and I do not have a red jumper at all, so it's looking a little different on camera. It's gorgeous though, both on camera and in real life, even though it is, yeah, slightly different. This is nice and stretchy too, so I'm excited for that. It is knit bottom up, and I've done this much in like a week and a half. It has been, I don't know, it's been easy to knit because this is Malabrigo Mecha, which is a bulky yarn, and these are 5mm, so it's pretty quick to get through around in comparison to doing this, which was on 4mm and the yarn is a lot thinner. So it's been fun, and I'm already halfway through the body. Well, halfway through until the point where I have to do the sleeves. So I am feeling pretty good about that. I have the tiniest, I only have a tiny bit of the first ball left, and I'm very excited on this. This is, I think, just gonna be the focus really for the rest of the month. I might knit on a few other things, but it's already the 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day if you are Irish and you celebrate. But yeah, like, I'm kind of enjoying taking my time and doing this. I've been mostly just been knitting on it while I've been watching Grey's Anatomy, because I took a really long break, like probably like 6 months between watching one season and then the next one, and I'm back into it now, and I've watched so much of it, and I've just been enjoying watching it, crying because there's been some emotional things happening in this season, and yeah, knitting on this, and that's how we're going to continue. That's it. That's the update for today and probably for the rest of this week. No plans, no thoughts, no feelings, just gonna keep going and enjoy myself and not stress about wanting to get to anywhere. Honestly, I think March has just been a month. Like, I've been feeling kind of sick all month and like on that kind of cusp of like feeling like I'm getting a head cold but not getting a head cold, and then I still feel like I'm getting a head cold, and just stress and mental health stuff, and I am just relaxing on the knitting. Am I relaxing anywhere else in my life? No, not really, but relaxing on the knitting, letting myself enjoy it because it is a hobby. It is a hobby, Ellie. It is a hobby. You're meant to have fun. Just reminding myself of that because I feel like it can be easy to forget, especially when you're trying to do something like stash busting. I'll catch you next week, probably, and we'll see if I have felt like doing anything else. Happy? He's always just such a munchkin, hey? Welcome back. It's been a little while. Thanks. It's just been life stuff, you know? And today is the 26th of March, and this is where I'm gonna end the vlog for this month because I just know that I'm not really gonna have any progress over the next few days, and then I get to get this video out kind of on time, hopefully. And also March has just been a month for stash busting. It's just not really gone to plan, and we're going to talk about that. So yeah, obviously I bought all that yarn and that was fine. I knew I was going to buy, okay, maybe not all of it, but I knew there would be the yarn show and that I was anticipating buying a decent amount of stuff. So that's fine, but I also, I don't know, I'd kind of envisioned a bit more progress for myself this month, and that just didn't really happen. And it was kind of a mix of not really having the time, and I mean, I did finish my gingerbread, which feels like I finished that like 6 months ago, and I have to keep reminding myself that that was this month. So I did that, but I really didn't make any progress on anything else, as we're about to talk about. This is the Sugarplum jumper by Fabel Knitwear, and this is in some of my new yarn. Alfie is just trying to decide what he's gonna do. Okay. Bye. This is the Malabrigo Mecha. I am really enjoying this. You will have seen in a little clip just before that I'd done like a decent amount of it and then I decided to rip it back. That was because in the pictures, this is quite loose, like it's a little bit oversized. And the size that I had decided to knit was quite tight around my stomach, and that wasn't really the style that I wanted for this jumper. I also don't want it to be super oversized, so I just went up a size, and now it is nice and kind of, it's that balance between being nice and loose but not being too loose. So I have honestly almost caught up to where I was at before I decided to rip it out. So I'd hoped that I could kind of like do all of it back by the end of the month, but that's just not going to happen. And that's fine. This has been surprisingly quick to knit up because it is a bulky yarn. So it's, you know, it's pretty quick to do a row. And I think right now I'm still on the increases, but once I get past those, it's just a straight stockinette for a little bit before I get to split for the sleeves. So I'm just gonna work on that and have a little bit of the first ball left, and that's really the only thing I've made any progress on. Almost every other whip that I had, I decided to rip back this month. I didn't rip back my fleur shawl, but I haven't worked on it at all either. And I just I ripped back like almost every pair of socks I was working on and just everything. And couldn't tell you why. It's just been one of those months, I guess, where I haven't been happy with anything. I don't know, as well, I guess because I don't have any projects that are like almost finished. And so I feel like I don't have something to like just kind of finish off and make myself feel good about it. I have quite a bit of work to do. And it's going to be fine. We're going to go into April and we're just going to keep going with things and just see where the month ends up. I have an idea for something fun I'm going to do for my April vlog. So I'm hoping that that will kind of reinvigorate me a little bit. But we'll see. But very quickly, I'm just going to remind both you and I where I started the month and where I have ended it in terms of stash. So I ended Feb with 16,791 grams, which is 335.82 balls, which is amazing. I have ended March after buying just over 1,000 grams of yarn with 17,051 grams, which is 341.02. That is also including taking everything I use for the gingerbread off. So I am sitting a bit higher than I was at the end of last month. Let's work out exactly how. Whoops, that's not. Whoops, no, this is not going well. So after all that, I am only 5.2 balls up, which doesn't actually feel that bad. Now that I kind of think about it that way, because I have been looking at that number and I've been feeling stressed about it. But now that I'm kind of looking at it as only being an extra 5.2 balls, that's not bad. I am not as mad about that as I thought I would be. So that's where we're going to end for March, and very much looking forward to hopefully having a better April in terms of knitting, even if that means that I don't finish anything, of just like making progress with things would be like, I'd take that right now. That would be great. So I will see you all next time. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you had a better March in terms of your knitting or crafting or whatever you do. And I'll see you then. Bye.